So you give me five. Cool. You are the best of the best. It's just so good what I experienced
Aw.
with you, and I do want others to experience. So that's why I really wanted to record this video with you, so people can have a little bit of you before they come. So tell me a little bit about your journey.
Had a pretty well-known band I was in for 7 years, or at least well-known in the Michigan and the tri-state area there and whatnot. Music was always healing cathartically, of course, for me, but I didn't really know anything about sound healing till after I quit the band. So I quit the band because I was longing for deeper connection. Quit the band, moved into the woods, got the drum, started going into these teachings, and teachers started coming out of the woodwork for me, and met multiple shamans from different traditions, especially that first year and a half, and did a vision quest where I got my name, and I've kept the name ever since. That was about 17 years ago.
What can you say to the participants that your session will be so good for them, and why it's relevant to self-love?
So how sound healing relates to self-love is because it's healing, and we're loving ourselves by wanting to grow, to
Yeah.
deepen our connection, and to do the work, right? To clear ourselves, to clean up the stuff so that we're more clear in our vision of moving forward, and are clear in our connection to the sacred. And so that's all self-love. All that work is self-love. And this is sound healing is a very potent part of it. It's just doing our healing work, saying yes to things that are healing. Everything in the universe is frequency and vibration. Nicholas Tesla says, if you want to understand the universe, look at frequency and vibration. Edgar Cayce said that sound will be the medicine of the future. The future's now, and we're really, quantum physics is backing it all up. The language of science is also saying the same. Everything's frequency and vibration. And so we are frequency and vibration, and our consciousness is a frequency and a vibration that we're holding, that we're sending out and broadcasting to the universe. And many things that we've experienced that could be less than pleasurable, or could be different traumas from our past, or unhealed wounds, or issues, or limiting beliefs. All these things are out of alignment frequency-wise with the rest of the universe. Things that deal with fear and doubt and anger and guilt and shame and judgments of self and others. All these things are the human program.
Yeah.
That and those things aren't in alignment with source, with the divine, with love and peace and joy. Those are two different frequencies, and you can't be experiencing love and anger at the same time. They don't resonate.
Yeah.
Right? You can experience harmonically resonant consciousness or frequency. As you experience love, you can also experience peace and joy and happiness. And then if you experience fear, you can also experience anger and doubt and shame. And those things are resonant with each other. And so, but separately, right? Those things resonate with fear. Those things resonate with love. And so when we have experiences that are infused with fear or painful experiences, that's a frequency. And that memory holds a frequency. And if we haven't done the healing work, then it still resides somewhere in us. We don't just tuck it away in the mind as a memory. It holds a resonant frequency that settles into the bodies, the joints, the organs, the muscles, the bones, and can cause a resistance in the natural flow of our chi, our life force energy, because it's not in alignment. It's not in balance and harm. So with a frequency from different sounds, different instruments, they have effects on different aspects of ourselves, but it's really this equation of sound plus intention equals healing. So we have the sound of the instrument and the intention of the person playing the instrument. The first thing my African teacher said was, when he hit the drum, he's like, "This is your intention amplifier," right? So it's old knowledge. That's the drum.
I love it. And you know,
um,
also is the intention of the person who is coming open, with their heart open to receive that, aligned and in
right,
receiving mode. You never heal from just being in the mind. So that's
right.
really an embodiment experience where you have the breath and the moment, the present.
For me, this is about divine connection,
Yeah,
spiritual connection, you know, and to draw the guidance from that place.
yeah,
So it's not three trees doing the healing, it's three trees. I'm just being a
yeah.
facilitator and a conduit for divine guidance.
I like
And
that.
so when we all come together in a focused way, all forth that
Yeah.
divine energy. And then I get out of the way and take the journey with everyone.
Let's say I've never done your session, so what am I to expect? Is it
Right? So we use the
Mhm.
drum and rhythm and the frequencies and sound infused with intention of love and light and peace and joy through this divine connection to receive it, not my idea or your idea of love and peace and joy, but divine love, divine peace.
the big drum that you have in the center?
The
And
big mama drum, yes.
sit under the drum and just stay
Yes.
there and lay down and you start drumming that thing, and then
Yes.
you get the didgeridoo and you put sounds in there, and it builds up, then you play something else, then you feel that you're moving your energy around, and then there's all these sounds building up, and then you start singing or saying mantras, right? You pick up mantras and healing.
Sometimes a couple mantras and uh, just some toning where just allowing whatever
What I
sounds
think
and
it's good is that
some,
I hear some English words sometimes. You speak in
some
English, you
English
come up
words, some
immediately.
African words, some yeah, yeah. There's some different languages that come through. Yes.
I love it. I
Native
love
American. So people have experiences all over. It's really what's meant for you in the moment is what you're going to receive. And for some people, that could be physical healing or a message or a vision. And so everyone has a different experience, and people come multiple times and have a different experience every time. But it's always just a wonderful healing that's happening as we journey through the system. Yeah.
I'm hearing you talk and I'm like, sign me up. Sign me up. I'm going to do it right now. It's just like listening. It's just already healing. Just
Right.
like hearing you explaining it is already transformational.
Yeah.
So, Three Trees, for somebody that does not understand what shamanism is, can you
Hmm.
explain a little bit what is shamanism in your own eyes, and so to
Okay.
somebody that doesn't know what it means?
First of all, shaman or shaman is a word from one culture. Actually, it's from the Siberian indigenous people of Siberia, the nomadic people there. Their medicine person is called a shaman. And
Mm,
somehow that has been now become synonymous with all indigenous healers. They just call them shamans. But every culture, every tribe has their own name for what a medicine or the spirit. It's kind of like the tribal priest, but he's also the tribal healer, and he's the interceder between spirit and the people, right? So he has a little more, or she has a little more connection that can receive the information to give the tribe guidance, or to receive, to help the chief make decisions from a spiritual aspect, and also be the healer, to allow that spiritual healing to come through for people. I don't call myself a shaman in respect to those who do that training for half their life, and then the shaman gives them that title when they're ready,
yeah,
right? And now people take a weekend course and they go, hey, I'm a shaman now, so I don't really claim those things, and that's great if people want to do that, but out of respect for the shamans that I've met and known, I'd never call that name's not been given to me, but I do say I practice shamanic technique, right? So
yeah,
we can all practice the techniques the shamans use.
yeah,
It's really using our surroundings as a way to feel connected and to honor everything, that we're a part of it all, that it's really all equal, that the rocks and the trees and the animals are just as important and play an important part in all of this, and we're all here together, right? And
yeah,
it's all representations of spirit. It's all archetypal, and it's always it's the matrix we've created to communicate with spirit. With the sound healings and frequencies, we're working at a deeper level of resistance that we have, or limiting beliefs that we have that are a frequency held within us, and to help clear those things up so that we allow ourselves to love ourselves more. Also, we're kind of helping to clear some of the blockages and limiting beliefs and these frequencies that are causing resistance in the natural flow of our chi and our life force and our chakras and the energy meridians, and all that stuff can kind of clog up, or cause emotional resistance or mental resistance in our healing work.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And the
So,
cool thing
so
I
it's the
think about the
self-love
shaman,
work.
the shamanic healing that you do is that all you do is just stay there. I mean, there's nothing really that you have to do, right? But let your body vibrate with the sound. Isn't
You
that
just
right?
relax, release, and receive.
Yeah. And there is something that ignites inside, because when I woke up, I mean, because it's not that I slept in your session, but when I came out, when you just finished, I felt so much peace within, and like I was floating, like somebody was carrying my body, and I was
Right.
like, this is self-love. This is the feeling that you really feel. And I didn't do anything but just
Right.
take myself to that session.
Right.
So there's
And
nothing really that you do. So it's just the work does itself, right? And that's what
yes.
I think is fascinating. And I can even explain what it is. And that's why I tell people, like people told me, I can
Mhm.
explain you, I can tell you what 3 trees is about. You gotta go there. So say, I'm not
Well,
gonna even try to explain. I want to bring my people there so they can experience what I experience. It's
right.
really is
Um,
fascinating.
and it can also help activate the things that you'll need, the energies you need to move forward into loving yourself more, right? To clearing those blockages and things that may be holding us back, on a frequency level. But a lot of that part of the reason we get that feeling, because it does tap you in to that feeling of what it is like to feel peace and love and joy,
Yes, yes,
right? And part of that's because we get out of the way.
yes,
So, most of this ego stuff, and the little human stuff is what
yes,
separates us from really coming forth into experiencing
exactly.
all the love that is,
Yeah.
and the love for self and others. And so when we're in that space, all
Mhm.
the sound healings, aligning and balancing the meridians and clearing and the chakras, but at the same time, you're going into this divine connection. And so we get to experience that, and the humanness and the ego is out of the way for an hour and a half or so, at least mostly, so
Yeah.
that we can experience that.
After they've done the session with you, like I
Hmm.
did, right?
Yep.
What are they gonna feel?
Well, what you're going to feel after a session is really depending on what you're needing in the moment. I say in general, most people have a feeling of peace, um, a lightness, like you said, grounded to the Mother Earth, but also expands your energy outward in all directions. So most people feel expanded yet grounded, and a feeling of peace and connection. But there's a lot of experiences that come through, so um, the heating up and cooling off thing, and the pricklies and tinglies as the meridians and energies flowing to places it hasn't been as much, and the heating and cooling off is going to releasing and refilling. Cooling off as things are releasing, the heating up is that divine love and light, and healing energy comes in. You can heat up, so that can happen multiple times. But by the end, and after the gratitude song that I love to end everything on, it's usually you're in the space of just ah,
Yeah.
and feeling connected, and feeling expansive, and feeling at peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the word exactly. Connected and expanded. I love
Yeah.
those 2 words, yeah, because that's exactly
Yes.
how I feel. And you feel connected to yourself and to the others. Like you wake up and you can see more vibrantly, and you can
Yes.
really hear more. It's like awake your senses. Your
Yeah, it's
senses
like a
are
switch has been
awakened.
turned on, right? Or another switch or something there. You go into high definition.
High definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High def.
It's so nice to connect with you and to have you as part of the retreat. And
Aw, thank
so
you. I feel
proud and
honored.
honored to have you. Thank you so much for for everything, and just for this healing that's already occurring here, that I know that just by listening to you, people are already gonna feel it, you know. So
Aw, thank you. I feel very honored to be part of what you're offering to everyone, and thank you for inviting me to be part of that. And I know it's going to be wonderful and very successful, and I'm excited for you. And thank you for having me.
oh, namaste.
Namaste. And now must go.
Yeah. Oh, the cuica. Anything, or you know, it's like a monkey.